There we go. So, good evening, people. Good evening, good evening, good evening. It is Thursday, the 7th of June. I can't believe we're already 7 days into the 6th month of the year. 7 days until the World Cup starts. I'm starting to get excited now, looking forward to it. Not that England are going to do anything at all, but it means that there's football on every single afternoon and every single night for at least 2 weeks. So that is good for me. But it is Thursday, which means we are joined by a special guest. And wow, what a guest we've got on tonight. Now, I met this guy in Vegas in February. He is, and for those of you that saw the video that Raz did in the group a little earlier, he is literally, and where Raz said, like, I'm here and Raz is there and this guy's here. No, Raz is there, I'm here, but he's still up there. He is a real smooth operator. He really is a really chilled out, nice bloke, you know, an amazing individual as well. So I know I keep saying this every Thursday, and I know I keep mentioning it in the group, but Thursday nights we really are bringing you the best of the best of the best of the best. And you know, I look back at since we've started these calls and since we've started to schedule these calls as well, and the caliber of people that we've been bringing onto the Thursday night calls is absolutely superb, and it doesn't stop tonight. So Anthony, did you want to actually introduce this guy tonight? Because I know, like, you're a big fan of his, aren't you? Did you want to do anything, or did you want me to just crack on with it?
Paul, no, I'm not saying I'm just putting kids to bed. But are we there, mate? Yeah, I'd love to, mate. That all right?
Go for it.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, like Paul just talked about Thomas there. I mean, I did meet him in person in Vegas, but I've been following him for quite a while, and just super impressed. Not only like Paul said, smooth operator, just chilled out, and just an all-round nice guy. But he wears nicer jackets than me as well, Mr. Sparkly, I call him, beautiful jackets. But obviously, he's been in the industry a long, long time, and every time that the guy speaks, I just want to listen, and I watch all his live videos. Big fan. So, Thomas, I'd like to say absolute thank you from me personally, and the team. And really looking forward to this evening's training, my friend. So, once again, buddy, thank you so much. Take it away.
Well, thank you, guys. Thank you for having me on. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Can you guys see me? Let me take some glasses off and change here. I have to change off. It's very bright here at Direct Sellers, and very bright here in Florida. Today about 9 degrees. Just very, very beautiful. Again, Paul, thank you so much for inviting me on the call. And I really didn't know what I was going to talk about. I asked you about a week ago what to talk about, and you said just go with it. So let's get down to, let me give you a little bit about me. I've been around the industry here for quite some time. Am I coming through clear? Yes?
Sorry, I was on mute myself. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. I've been around the industry for quite some time, and I've had a lot of success over the last 40 years or so. And that's not to impress you, but to impress upon you that I come from very, very meager beginnings. You know, my beginnings was in Southern Alabama in the 50s, which very poor. You know, I mean, we were poorer than poor, but I didn't know that because we always had clean clothes, we all had food to eat. But when I first got introduced into this wonderful arena of network marketing, I heard two things. I heard you could work for yourself, and I heard that you can make a lot of money doing it. From that day forward, I knew I was going to be a part of this here because I began to learn about leverage and how to leverage people around the world. I think Warren Buffett said better than anybody else is that if you don't learn to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. Remember that. If you don't learn to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. An important quote. So what I want to cover here is implementing actions. 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 Very, very important. Because look, a lot of people take the back end and they give you all the stuff, but they forget to give you the nuts and bolts. You know, how do I get this momentum started? How do I build a team? You're giving me everything I need. And some people become paralyzed with training. Training this, training that, training. This is not that much training. And so what happens is that people get stuck in the training and they become immobile until the next training and until the next training. It's not what the training is, what you take from that training and how you implement it into your daily life, you know. And the number one thing that you have to do with that is that you have to be a messenger. See, there's one thing you have to learn. Every multimillionaire, including myself, everybody started from zero. If you are new here, a long time ago, I was new here too. This don't happen overnight. This is not just a hobby unless you want to make it that, but this can be life-changing. The financial systems here are just amazing. This is the greatest industry the world has ever seen. And it's probably made more multi-millionaires than any other industry that we ever. So let's go back to taking actions. If you want to get your business started, let me give you one tip here that I want you guys to listen very careful, because this tip here could really, really save your life. What if I told you that if you become an inviter, if you can learn to master the invite, that you can become rich? Learning how to invite, you become very wealthy. Because there's a lot of people that can't speak. A lot of people are very introverted. They don't like talking to people a lot. They don't like getting up on stage. They don't like doing Facebook Live. You know, they're scared to death to speak with strangers. What if you were just a messenger and not the message? Let me repeat that. You want to write this down too. Be the messenger and not the message. Let me show you the responsibility that comes off of your shoulders. You don't have to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk to be a great inviter. You want to get the prospect that you were talking to the next event. What is the next event? The next three-way call with Paul. The next three-way call with anybody. The next event, the next live broadcast. If you can learn how to invite people, you can become very wealthy. You don't have to be a great networker. I know people that has made millions and they've never had a scissor call. They never did a training. But they are the greatest inviters that you can imagine. They learn to master the skill of inviting. Be that messenger, the messenger. Get the people in front of the message. You're talking probably too much. And we tend to talk a lot. We're humans. We like interaction. We talk, but we talk ourselves out of money. We talk ourselves out of people that would be a part of our team, a part of our structure. Because when you talk too much, if your voice is the only voice they're hearing, the chances are they are not going to join you. Listen to this carefully. If your voice is the only voice that they hear, there's a great chance they're not going to join you. That's why we have tools. Embrace the process. Ignite curiosity. Number one, ignite curiosity. Let them know, hey, I just found this amazing deal that I'm looking at right now. I'm very busy, but I'd like for you to talk to you about it. When are you going to have a few minutes? I'd like to get you on the phone because I just came in, but I got an expert in this industry that I'd like to get you in touch with. Would you be willing to listen to it? Don't throw up over them. Don't tell them about the wine business. Don't tell them about all this here. Your business is people, not wine. Your business is about people. Wine is your vehicle. That's what it's about. If you can invite enough people, it's all in the numbers. If you can invite enough people to take a look at your deal, given by an expert, let me expound on that. When you get your prospect on the phone with an expert on a three-way call, it's not a closing call. It could be that too, but more important, it's a third-party confirmation call. You're letting that person know that I got an expert in my corner. I got a team behind me. You don't have to do this by yourself. So back to ground one. If you can become a great inviter, you can get rich in this industry, especially with the vehicle that we got here with direct sellers, with wine. It's important that you understand this here, because the first art of building a team is exposure, 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 exposure. Some people don't join until the 6th, 7th, 8th, maybe 10th exposure. But guess what? You had them on the phone with an expert. You had them on the phone with Paul. You had them on the phone with Anthony. You had them on the phone with any of the top leaders that knows this business inside out. Because when they are having a conversation, they are taking these people someplace. And you need to listen, be very quiet, and listen to exactly what they say. See, I can train you all day. I can train you step by step, all the way, every single day. But if you don't start taking action, how many people are you talking to today? How many people are you exposing your business to? See, this is about habits. Let's talk about the habits of a successful internet marketer. Network marketer. Number one, they're going to have some my time every morning. 10, 15 minutes, okay, my time. My time. To go over the schedule that I made last night. See, if you don't have a written out schedule here, you don't know what to do tomorrow. You can't do it from your mind. It's got to be written. You have to write it down. You got a list there too. I hope you guys already been past the list part. But now you're in business. Now you're rolling. Now you're cooking. You're ready to go now. Now, how long do it take to make 20 calls? Probably half of them not going to answer. How long do it take to make 20 calls? Out of those 20 calls that you're making, understand this here. You're inviting them to take a look at something that you're extremely excited about. That's all. Please don't ask me to explain right now. I wouldn't do it justice, because I just got in myself. I'm just telling you on the phone, you would never get the picture. I want you to take a look at it. I want you to talk to an expert on it. That's it. Make it all about them. Rule one, it has to be about them, not about you. This is a service business. You're doing a service to them. So now you got the expert on the phone. You just went to first base. For that, it's not football, but it's baseball. You just went to first base with the guy. The chances are, if you told him that, let me ask you a question. Shirley and Howie, if I told you, look, I got a three-way call with Sir Richard Branson and Bill Gates. Can you be on at 7 o'clock? There ain't no doubt about it, right? Whatever else was happening, this is how you have to take your business very serious. Let them know. Edify Paul. Edify Anthony. Look, this guy here came in about a few months ago, and he's killed it. He's got visual proof. He's documented. Let's talk to Big G here. Guillermo Padillo out of Seattle, Washington. Thank you for joining us. Look, these guys has been in the field, and they are doing it. This thing really works. Because, see, you get caught up with all the questions they ask you. Thousands and thousands and thousands of questions they got. Well, do this here, do this. Let me tell you, I want you to write this down. There's only 3 questions they're really asking you. Out of all the tens of thousands of questions can be asked, they're asking you 3 things is what they really want to know from you. Number 1, does this work? Does this work? That's their number 1 question. They don't care about the comp plan. They don't care about the product. They like you. They want to ask you one simple question and tell the truth. Does this work? Number one. Number two, can I do it? Can I do it? And number three, will you show me how? If you put all the questions in a huge encyclopedia and break it down, it'll be those three questions. Does it work? Can I do it? Will you show me how? So let me ask you a question again. Would you like to be successful if I just taught you one skill? If you learn to master one skill? Look here, Paul is always, look what he said. He's working. He should be out on the soccer field. He's working. The same as Anthony, the same as all you guys. What if that you could shift all that weight over? You invite him to the next event, the next presentation, the next three-way call, the next live event, and let these leaders take them. You go invite more. Guess what? As the numbers come in, you're going to begin to make money. Your team is going to begin to grow. See, you don't have to put all the burden on your shoulders until you're ready. Until you're ready. If you can learn this skill, trust me, if you can learn the simple skill of mastering the invite, and I'm going to go into detail with it here. I will hold another training for you guys on doing nothing but mastering the invite. I'll show you how to do the calls. I'll show you what to say, how to say it, how to get the response for them to say yes 3 times during the conversation. I'm going to show you how to switch it. I'm going to show you how you never have to talk to another cold market person again. Yeah. I'm going to show you how to build your warm market from one phone call. One phone call, show you how to begin to build your warm market. I can teach you all this here, but it doesn't matter. It goes back to what? The action. It goes right back to the action. You can sit back and learn everything. It sounds good. You're part of this great company. But you know what? It's like the time that you spend on Facebook for some of you, the time that you spend on Twitter or Instagram. It's likes versus loot. You want more likes or you want more money in your paycheck? That's what it's about. And here's the secret. It's about the people who trusted you to make sure they're getting paid too. This is a great opportunity here. And you're first to market with it. DC is going to be huge. And with the global expansion that we got in these new markets that we're getting, man, fill your calendar. Fill your calendar. Some of you guys have jobs and stuff. Put all the times in your calendar. Start today. The time that you work. Your TV time. The time that you're talking to girlfriend or your partner. You can erase all that stuff there. All these hours and everything you got left, I want you to write in there DC. DC. Every blank hour that you got from the 168 hours or 107 hours a week, put DC in there. DC. And if you diligently fill that calendar up every month, I guarantee your business begin to exponentially explode. But you got to be back to the same point I'm getting. You have to be the messenger. Let's call it the vision carrier. 90% of your success is your excitement. Nobody wants to talk to boring people. And a lot of us are boring because we basically introverts. And that's okay. So it's like showtime. You know, when you get on the phone, prepare yourself before you get on the phone. Prepare yourself before you talk to some other person. Know where you're going, know what you're going to say, knowing how you're going to get them to that next event. To that next event. If you can do that, I would guarantee you that life is going to change for you with DC. Your team is going to begin to grow. Don't worry so much about the training. Learn one good thing at a time. And number one, the number one art is being able to be a good messenger, to be a good inviter. If you can invite, watch how your whole world changes. Your whole world changes. You don't have to be the world's greatest recruiter. That's what Paul and the rest of them are for. They just want you to bring them in front of it. Put them in front of the program. Put them in front of your deal. Put them in front of DC. And let the process take place. Embrace the process. You don't have to do all this hard work. Study. Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of calls that you knew and you're scared. You're waiting on the no. The no's don't make any difference. Let me tell you what you do. And this will work for me. And I was afraid to take it on the phone. I was scared of rejection. This is what worked for me. My mentor told me to detach myself completely from the results. You don't care whether they say yes, and you don't care whether they say no. That's not your job. Your job is to introduce them to it, to expose them to it, to get them on that next event. That's your job. That's where your business started. I'm just giving you really nuts and bolts here. You know, I'm not going through the fancy array of going through things. That's where you start at. That's exactly where you start at. Somebody's driving a stick shift. Okay, I see it. But guys, that's it. That's it for me. If you have any questions, Paul, they have any questions? I think I can answer a few questions if I can. But I hope that helped a little bit. One thing at a time. If you become the master of invite, you're on the right track.
Thomas, thank you very much for taking the time out to join us this evening. And, you know, like I said at the beginning, one thing I love about what we've got at the moment over here is we always invite a guest speaker on, but every single week it's always something completely different. And tonight you kind of homed in on inviting, and that's something that, you know, I'll definitely take you up on, and we'll get a training course set up purely for inviting. And I'm sure the guys on the team and the guys on the call tonight would love to like hear that as well. So I'm going to open it up in a minute, but I've got a couple of questions for you that I'd like to ask you myself. First of all, for the guys that are on the call tonight, and I didn't mention this at the beginning, and I know Raz didn't either, but for those of you that don't know who Thomas Carter is or don't know what this guy's done, he was on the list of the top 10 most sought after network marketers in the world. Now, up until 2013, I didn't know how big the network marketing industry was. To be honest, I didn't really know it existed. I was that kind of stupid that I didn't really know it existed. But over the last 5 years or so, I not only do I know it exists, but I also know how big it is, and I also know how many people are involved with it. So for this guy to be involved in the top 10 most sought after network marketers in the world it means that this guy has worked, and he's put in the work, and he's got up early, and he's worked late nights, and he's done weekends, and he's put a shift in. And not only was he in the top 10, but he was in the top 3. So, you know, again, I just want to appreciate you, Thomas, for deciding to getting on the call tonight with us and taking some time out of your busy schedule. So a couple of questions that I've got for you before I throw it over, and I know I'm fairly certain that Raz has got a couple of questions that he's going to ask you as well. But one of the questions that I've got for you is that how long was it before you how long before you joined DC did you know about DC? Because I know that you didn't jump in straight away. I know that you looked at it and you sat on it and you watched and you watched and you watched. So when did you first hear about direct sellers, and then when did you actually get involved with direct sellers? So I guess it's 2 questions in one there.
Yeah, I heard about DC about 14 months before I decided to become a member. But yeah, 14 months exactly.
So my next question then is, well, there's 2 parts to this one. What stopped you from getting in 14 months before you got in would be like the first part of it. And then the second part of the question is, what made you decide to get involved in the end?
Well, being a student of the industry itself, I looked at direct seller and I said, why now? It's a common reaction to people. Oh, I love wine, but MLM, no, not wine. I didn't know where it would go. So, of course, closely I watched it. I seen the growth in 3 months. I saw the growth in 6 months, 9 months, a year, over a year. But I saw the successes. I saw the people who's been in this industry for years that's never made $100 in a whole month in their life. was coming over here and was having some great, great success. Not making any income claim, but and when I say success, I don't only mean just financial success. I mean success in building their confidence, success in socializing a lot more, success in a passion about helping other people, and a passion about doing something greater. All those things come to mind here at DC. What attracted me mostly about DC is the social aspect. Here's a vehicle that I don't have to be embarrassed or ashamed of. Here's something I can be very proud of. It's something I don't have to explain wine. People understand wine. You know, this is the easiest thing that people are going to find as far as within this space that we're working in this network marketing space. Direct seller is it, bar none. This is it. I mean, I see people in the nutrition and the weight loss and all these products and the next juice, the next drink and face cream. This is wine. With all that said, with all these people, with all these different products around the world, there's a large percentage of them still drink wine. This is where it is. That's what attracted me to it. Now wine, I'm excited. I'm really excited about the future of where DC is going. Incredible company.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, there's a lot of people that have come out of network marketing retirement, and there's a lot of people that have jumped companies just because of the product itself, let alone, you know, the compensation plan and the leadership and the founders and the owners and whatever else. But it is the product. And like you said, whether you're involved in a nutritional company or whether you're involved in a skincare company or you know, whatever else is out there, the majority of people that are involved in network marketing, when they go to events, the one thing that they love about it is the social aspect in the evening when they get to drink alcohol. And a lot of people do drink wine. So the next question then for me, before I throw it over, because I don't want to like completely hog it tonight, but what would you say is the most exciting thing, if you could put like one thing in it, what's the most exciting thing that excites you about the future of direct sellers and where this company could potentially go?
Oh, I can tell you that it's because of their blueprint. With the leadership under Kevin Ralston, he already know where we're going 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Everything he do is on purpose. He's done it before and been extremely successful with it. I mean, everything that we're doing now, you might not know what's going on in the background because you only get the upfront stuff. But trust me, they are so organized at this point here. They are so organized, and I guarantee you, the DC you see today, in 6 months won't be the same DC. You know, people be lining up to get into this thing here, especially with the expansion that they're having, the quality of the premium wine they got, the compensation plan that only gets better and better and better and better and gooder all the time, and the executive leadership and the field leadership they have here. We are building a culture, and each and every one of you have a chance to be a part of this culture. We are building a culture that's going to say, see, this is not just a company. This is going to be a legacy company. It's going to be around for a while. I mean, wine's been around for a little bit over 6,000 years. It ain't going no place now. Yeah. And now that the money is moving toward wine, when you see most of the celebrities, whether they're sports athletes or actors, and they're all buying wineries now. You know, Sir Richard Branson just bought 2 of them, you know, last year. When it moves from $60 billion a year, within less than a year, moved to over $300 billion, that's a clue in the industry. That's the clue. When I saw that there, I was in. I was signing on the dotted line. $300 billion plus a year. I want a piece of that. I want a piece of that there. Because guess what? It's a solid industry, and it's going to be there forever. You know, this is something that's not going to go away. It's not going to be a fad. Wine is not a fad. You know, the weight loss come and go, different products and stuff. Wine stays wine. Wine stays wine and always will be wine. And so that's what drove me here.
Brilliant. Right, I'm going to open it up because I've got a few more questions that I'll ask at the end. But who's got a question? Who would like to ask Thomas Carter a question? Because, as I said, this guy does not need to be involved with direct sellers. This guy does. He got involved for a purpose and a reason, and that purpose and that reason was because of where he can see this going. So he knows, he's involved in the leadership team. He's involved in what we're going to be doing and where we're going with this. So now's the time for you guys to speak up and ask him some questions. So who would like to ask Thomas Carter a question this evening?
Come on, Howie.
I'd just like to say thank you, Thomas, because you've made it so simple and straightforward. Does this work? Can I do it? Will you show me how? Those basic things that I can just get across to people I'm talking to and get them in front of Paul or Waz or whoever. Fantastic. Thank you so much for that.
Well, thank you. Thank you. You know, Howie, this should be simple. We make it complicated. We think that we have to say the right words. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person. You can't say the wrong things to the right person.
Yeah.
That's why I teach people. Let's start from ground zero. Ground zero is become master one of the skills. Yeah. I'm gonna take later. I'm gonna come back on next month sometime for another training. But there's 4 basic skills you can learn. And I made, not bragging, but I've made a lot of meetings here. And 4 skills I learned. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I take the actions like the rich. Don't take actions like the poor. You understand that? It's all in the actions that you take and what you're willing to do. Anytime you want to be successful in this industry here, it takes some sacrifices. I don't care, it could be small or big. It's going to be sacrificing, because if you were born not rich, you shouldn't die not rich. And I don't mean just rich in finances. I mean rich in life and fulfillment and friends and the experience and knowledge that you can share and make it about people. Be a servant leader. Be a servant leader. Always be available to help somebody to understand what we do here at DC.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic points. Okay, who's next? Who's got a question?
Carl.
Yeah, I've got one, Paul.
There he is.
Just come down from Point Kister. Yeah, cheers for that, Thomas. I listened all the way through, mate. Really appreciate that. Just, I like to know what a lot of people's favourite quotes are, Thomas. What is your favourite quote?
My favourite
quote.
I don't understand the last word.
The quote. You get some favourite quotes from people. Anthony comes from a weird place in the world. No one really knows.
Favourite quotes. Favourite quotes.
That's right. Yeah.
For an associate or for a prospect?
Both.
one of my favorite quotes, I think, is you can't build a business sitting on the fence.
Nice.
You can't build a business sitting on the fence. Nothing is going to happen unless you make it happen. That's not going to be any lottery coming. I'm just expounding on that. The lottery, the chances of your business building by itself is your chances of hitting the mega million lottery. So nice. A lot of people wait for that. And can I give you a short example here how easy this is? I think Howard touched on it. Let me tell you guys something. I've been here 49 years in this industry. And let me tell you how easy this is. You keep digging down through people, prospect. I call them suspects until I talk to them, they become a prospect. But you keep digging down. You know what you need to have beach money forever? You find one superstar on your left and one superstar on your right, and you build to China. You understand that? You find the right person on the right and the right person on the left, game over. Pull the lawn chair out. it's time to go to the World Cup in Moscow. You know, that's how sit down. How many people are you willing to expose to this here to find the right team? Because here's the secret: it's not who you know, it's who they know. And see, the right two people knows a whole bunch of the right people. So you're sorting. You're not trying to convince. You're trying to sort. You get a whole bunch of them. Like I think it was Austin was explaining. If you get a bag of, for me, get a bag of M&Ms. And you know, some of the flavors don't taste as good as other. I don't like the black ones. So I throw the black ones out. You know, I don't like those. I really like the yellow ones. So I like to have me a bag full of those yellow ones. That's the same way you're trying to recruit. It's the same way you're trying to recruit. You know, you're looking for the people that's looking for you or looking for the opportunity that you have. See, my favorite quote, back to Anthony, my favorite quote come from a guy from a long time ago. He said, there's $1 million to be made in your neighborhood. How many people have you told about your business? That's $1 million in your neighborhood. People that know you, they wave at you every single day. They don't even know what you do. They just know you hooked up with some type of wine thing. You haven't talked to them. They know you quite well. Some of them been to your home. They sit in your house. They even know your dog's name. They know that you're probably rooting for United, you know. But guys, let me tell you something. Be that messenger. That one right and one left. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. One left, one right. We in a binary. And build all the way to China. If you look at it like this here, get those first two powerful people. The first two might not be the ones you're looking for. It might be 100 people down. But you search deep down and you look for that diamond in the rough. And that diamond in the rough can retire you. And your wife. And your children for generations. Look for those diamonds. See, this is a business. This is not a game or a hobby. And some people just want to do it for part-time money. That's perfectly okay. Some people only want $500 a month, they say. But I guarantee you, the people who want $500 a month, if you show them how to make 1,000, they'll take it. If you show them how to make 5,000, they'll take it. If you show them how to make 10,000, they'll be very happy. See, you got an income here. Listen to me closely. I want to try to give you guys a visual. Here's your income, whether you got a job or what you got, your pension, whatever you got coming in. That's your plan A, or was your plan A. Here's your DC business, way down here. What you want to do is close the gap on your DC business. Okay, you understand that? Now your DC business is also an A business too. You're not going to get paid anymore here. It's a ceiling here. The job will give you a ceiling. This is still going. Now, when you can afford your insurance and everything else and your benefits, now this can go away. Now you're creating a lifestyle. It's that simple, guys. Don't make this complicated. It's that simple. And let me tell you here, I'm saying this here, I don't care who here, this is the greatest opportunity you're going to find out here. There's nothing out here. That's the cryptocurrency. That's all this and that. This is the greatest opportunity out here. And I guarantee you, the ones that go to work now, within a year time, you are going to be some happy, happy campers. You're going to have a lot of enemies. The ones that didn't join you now, they won't like you very much because you're down in Aruba or the Barbados or Trinidad or Jamaica someplace, and they sitting in beautiful London under the weather, in chilly weather. That's my answer for you.
Cheers, Thomas. Thank you, mate.
Hey, no problem, sir. Thank you.
I could listen to you all night. I really could listen to you all night. Right, who's got another question? Has anyone else got any questions for Mr. Thomas Carter? Speak now. Speak now, speak now, speak now.
Come on, Shirley.
Has anyone else got any questions?
Ask now. Carl?
Carl Brady's just released his photo. Carl Brady, you must have a question. You love a good question.
I could ask Thomas questions all night, so I mean, I don't think he's got that long. It's clear. It's just always fantastic having someone so experienced during these calls, and I consider ourselves very fortunate to have people like Thomas involved in this. So I've got to thank Paul as well for arranging this.
I didn't understand a word he said. He's speaking a different bloke language.
And that was me thinking I was clearer than Raz.
It's good. Guys, it's been really great to be here. Any more questions before I go, though? Please don't feel free to ask them. That's what we hear. That's how we learn. You just don't learn from me. We learn from each other. Well, let me ask you a question. If you had to pick one problem that you have in building your team, what is it?
Sorry, I didn't just get what you said then.
If you had to tell me, if I was going to mentor you, and you said, and I asked you, what's stopping you? What's keeping your business from growing? What would that one thing be?
I think the thing that's stopping it for me is that I've been overcomplicating things. I've been talking to people, but saying too much.
Yes, that's number one. Trust me, that's number one. In the world, that's number one. Not just in England, everywhere, number one. You know, because let me tell you why that happened. People get really excited when they got a prospect that, why? Yeah, tell me about it. You get so excited until you forget that that's a process. Slow down, Howard, back up, stop. Take a deep breath. The first question he asks you that you can't truthfully answer, say, you know what, that's a powerful question. I'll tell you what, let me see, can I get my mate Paul online here? He might be available. Or whoever you got. See, I'm not afraid to call. I don't need three ways, but I do them. Upline, downline, sideline, it don't matter to me. If they got the knowledge, I'm going to call them because it gives me that third-party confirmation. You understand? Yeah. You have to learn to embrace the process. You know, we have a lot of self-pride, we humans. But let me tell you, if you're going to build this business here, as I said before, take your ego, put it in your back pocket, and sit on it. Because it won't work here because we have to become humble. We have to become humble here. And humble means that you're humble enough to learn. You're humble enough to tell the truth like, hey, I'm getting a lot of no's. I don't know what I'm doing. You know, nobody wants to talk to me about my business. Can you help me? See, that third part of the questions is, will you help me? You have to be as humble as the person, the prospect that you're talking to. It don't have to be always by hype and rah-rah. That's good in some instances. But you want to tell them the truth always and let them know that you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
See, I've been in the industry for 49 years, and I will tell them in a minute, you know, I just started here. Hold on a minute. You got a moment? Let me just check with somebody to make sure I give you the right information. I call somebody on a three-way call. Right there, put them on a three-way call right there. This is how I work my business. Always be new. Because don't care how many people you got left, how many people you got right. Every morning I get up, I have nobody. I'm starting brand new every single day. And if you approach your business from the way that I'm teaching you how to do it, you will become successful. People want something a little bit different. They want you to be honest and straightforward with them. They want you to tell them exactly how to do this business and how successful they can be at this business here. If they will only do this. If you do this, you'll get this. If you do this, you'll get that. It's very plainly written with DC. There's no gotchas. That's what I like about this company. Everything is right there for everybody to see. Make sense?
It certainly
Okay.
does, yes. Yeah.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
My final question then, I guess, before we close out, how important is three-way calls? How important is edification within network marketing?
Without edification, there can be no three-way call. And without a three-way call, there's nobody to edify. You understand that? Making sense?
Yeah, totally.
Edify. It's two prongs that happens. When you are edifying your leader, your sponsor, your mentor, whoever, if you are edifying them to the maximum, you're also edifying yourself. You letting your prospect know, like, I trust this guy. You know, I trust this guy. And that's what they're looking for to do with you. They're looking to trust you. And if you are humble enough to edify this guy here, your edification comes automatically. But guess what? Now, there's a third part. Now, the person you just edified turns around and edifies you. So you're in the right hands. I'm glad to be a part of this journey with this guy here. This guy is awesome. He's going places. He asks the right question. You hook your wagon to the right horse. Always edify this person. It's a two-way street. And we don't do enough of it. It's because our egos get in the way. Me, I want to edify. I tell people, if you're new here, you don't have a story, use somebody else's story. You don't have a story. You just came in. If I just came in here, I'm living over in Chelsea. Somebody asked me, you know, well, tell me about you. Well, you know what? My sponsor is Paul. Let me tell you about Paul. Paul didn't know nothing about MLM, and I don't know Paul's history, but Paul didn't know anything about MLM. He learned about a year or two ago. He came into direct sellers, and he's already a master seller. You don't know what that is right now, but that's at the top of the pay plan in our company, and I really trust him. So I just edified Paul, and I don't really know a lot about Paul, except that we met at a crazy party in Las Vegas. But edify that person. Give your attention to them. Ask them questions. I got to have a training with you guys on perceptions. Ask questions. See, if you ask the person the right question, you get the right answer. But asking the question that's leading, when I'm doing a three-way call with a prospect, I'm asking questions for one specific reason. You were the messenger. You pointed to the message. So I want you to be completely quiet while I talk to this client. Don't say nothing. Because every question I ask him, I'm leading him to someplace. I'm looking for 4 yeses. In my conversation, I'm looking for 4 yeses. If I get 4 yeses, my closing ratio is about 90%. About 90%. Well, tell me about yourself. What kind of money are you trying to make a month? What would be optimum to you? You know? Okay, you need $3,000. Great. Just being nosy, but what would you do with that money? They probably want to take a vacation. They want to have their kids. They want to get cars. Write that down. Do not let it go. Write that down, especially on the phone. Write that down. Okay. So Paul, this is great. You got dreams, but you know, dreams stay dreams until you take action. So if I have a solution that can help you get to this here, your dream, are you able to move forward with us today? Be it VIP customer or one of my business partner, my brand, or a brand partner with me. See, take them someplace. If they have a money problem, they tell you right there. Now you know to take it in different directions. You know, if they got to talk to the wife, you know, take them in the direction of the husband. You take them to a different direction. If they hesitant about it, you know that they're going to take more exposure. Now you really need a three-way call. And you know what? If I get on a three-way call and I know that this guy here is just not there, I'll sneak another person in on the phone. I don't care. You know, right now it's about the close. But you can't close people. The art of the close is to have people close themselves. And the reason they don't join you as often is because they don't have enough information. And it's a catch-22 because you can't give them all the information up front because they're going to go Google and everything else and they're going to be gone. let that person you called on three-way get the information. He knows how to give it out. There you go.
Wow. What a fantastic 50 minutes it's been tonight. Again, you know, I said it at the beginning, I said it like partway through. Thomas, I really do want to thank you so much for taking the time out to speak to us tonight. What I personally picked up tonight and what I love about you is that you're very real and you keep it so simple. You know, a 49-year veteran in the industry, was looking at direct sellers for 14 months before you joined, have had some massive success within the industry. And, you know, I just love the way that you spoke tonight. I love the way how you kept it so real, how you kept it so simple. You know, this really is a business for everyone. This really is a company for everyone.
Yes.
It really is something where people can go from zero to hero and have huge success. So, again, I want to appreciate, you know, you taking the time out of your busy schedule. I'll definitely be in touch regarding setting up some additional training calls with the team, because I know that they're going to benefit, and I know, you know, myself personally, we're going to benefit. So thank you so much for this evening. Guys, I appreciate everyone jumping on as always. Monday night, we will be back with our opportunity call. And then next Thursday, we are back with our team training call with Carla Hassett. So one of our own in the team. Looking forward to that one as well. So I'm going to get the recording up for you guys tonight. Give me about 10-15 minutes and I'll get this recording up. I'll post it out into the groups. But, you know, Thomas, once again, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in New Orleans, my friends, with some of the team as well, and look forward to building direct sellers globally over the coming months and the years. So, guys, appreciate everyone jumping on. England won 2-0 tonight. Let's look forward to the World Cup. And who knows?
Let's go get it, guys. Let's go get it. Let's go get it.
Let's bring it home one time in our lifetime. So, cheers, guys.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Thomas. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Thomas.